Good morning, Mel here. Well, I'm saying good morning. You could be watching this and it could be the afternoon, but here I am to bring you the OMGFAB mini module on feelings. There is so much we could cover in this topic that's in the OMGFAB course. So it was really hard for me to decide what to pull out and bring to the table for you. But I want to just share a little bit about feelings because it's all about the feels, isn't it? Something that I talk about with you guys a lot. You'll see it in my posts. I always ask, how are you feeling? Because feelings are so significant. And I didn't really think about them that much until probably about 2016 when I became a dementia friend. And as many of you already are, you'll have heard when we did the bookcase analogy, talking about the hippocampus part of the brain that controls all our factual and biographical data, and then our amygdala part of the brain, which controls our feelings and emotions. And it really helped me to start to consider more about the actions I was taking, which were really being driven by my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And when I entered into the beauty industry and I started to hear from all of my clients, and obviously there are lots of complaints that come in about how they are feeling about themselves, and therefore in a therapist role, as in a beauty therapist, you kind of become a therapist as well, unofficially. And we start talking about the actions that we take and how they make us feel. And everything started to pull together a lot more about how people were spending that time with me. And I felt as part of my duty, and I enjoyed it, was to help them to feel good about themselves so that when they left, they were feeling more fabulous. And I realised that that's the reason why a lot of people were booking in with me. Happy days. So it became a real driver for me that I realised that one of my core values is to make a difference, and I do that by helping people feel fab on the inside and out. So what I'm going to bring to you today is some thoughts around feelings with some suggestions on how you can connect at a deeper level with your feelings. It's not always comfortable. It can be really discomfortable. Oh, it's not even a word. Uncomfortable. But as the old cheesy phrase goes, which I love, you've got to feel it to heal it. If we keep things bottled up, if we don't deal with things and we suppress them, it's like a zit under the surface that is trying to get out, and we're trying to keep it down, and it gets more and more painful. If we can let those things come to the surface and be free, we are releasing negative energy, trapped emotion from our body. I've spoken to you all about the book, Your Body Speaks Your Mind, which is all about, again, suppressing those things, or how discomfort, is that a word? I've said it again. Yeah, discomfort is right, and uncomfortable comes from having things trapped within us that we're not shifting, we're not dealing with, we're not processing. And many of us find at a later time in our lives that we have to go back to earlier times, do some work, some shadow work or inner child work, to look at what's happened at a point in our lives and bring ourselves to some kind of place of maybe acceptance, or do some kind of work around that so that we can move forward. Now, that's not an area that is a massive area of expertise for me. I've had to do with myself, but it's not something that I do with other people. I focus on the here and now. I'm much more of a mindfulness type coach, if you like, or somebody who I can work with the here and now. But we have to acknowledge the stuff that we've been through, and there are plenty of shadow work coaches. So if any of you need any help with that, then give me a shout. So some of the things I want to share with you today. Feelings are emotion, and emotions are closely linked, but they aren't the same. So emotions are built into us as the reactions from our brains and physical sensations in the body, and are similar for all humans, the way in which they're experienced. But feelings are the reactions to the emotions, and we all experience them differently. Our feelings tell us apart, and they help to define us. If I switch my notifications off. So when we stop and we ask ourselves the question, how do I feel right now? It allows us to consider what we're thinking and become aware of our thoughts. And our thoughts are also linked to our beliefs, but we'll talk about that in the beliefs module. We know, and I've already shared with you, we make about 35,000 decisions a day and we have about 70,000 thoughts. But how do we think about these thoughts, especially since our thoughts drive our actions? Our thoughts create our feelings. And when we can ask the question, are my thoughts working for me or against me? Are they positive or negative? It helps us to go back to that mindset piece and maybe think about how much of a growth mindset we're adopting or whether we're stuck in a fixed mindset. We can also reverse engineer the process and ask, how does this make me feel? What does this make me think? What does this make me do? Is or are my actions positive or negative towards myself, my life, my goals? And this brings us back to self, because it's all about getting to know ourselves. That's what this space is all about. We are on a self-discovery journey, self-exploration, personal development. When we connect with ourselves and we become we grow a better, deeper relationship with ourselves and we figure out what it is that makes our heart sparkle, that's when we become even more aligned. You see even more of those 222s. When you start to understand what it is that are your energy givers and your energy takers, they are going to be different for every single one of us in here. So again, go back to that 6 steps of self-care booklet and write down what your motivators and demotivators are, if you haven't already done that, because then that helps you to decide what it is that you need to stay away from on the demotivator side, or if you write it as an energy giver and an energy taker list, you need more of those energy givers and you need to avoid more of the energy takers. So that's a really good way on understanding, again, a way in which you can help to control the thoughts and the feelings that are going on around you. It's about who you're circling with, the kind of things that you're surrounded with in your life. So during the last couple of modules in ownership, we spoke about feeling in control of our lives. We spoke about emotional frequency and different things from a self-care point of view, from an organisation point of view, and how we can look at the different pillars of self-care, so mental, physical, emotional, spiritual and social aspects of our lives, and understand what makes us feel good about ourselves. In the mindset module, we spoke about empathy and compassion towards ourselves and others, self-awareness, neuroplasticity, what's going on in our brains, habit formation. So that's all about feelings as well, the importance of a positive mindset and how we can tune into more of the happy hormones to make us feel good. And in the goal setting module, we did a bit of visualization about our goals and how when we do these vision boards and treasure mapping and we understand what it is that makes us feel excited about life, again, that's triggering emotions and feelings and also impacting our actions that we're taking. So we've spoken about this a lot, and it's a thread that will go through every single element of OMGFAB, because it's all about the feels. And if you tune into your sparkly heart, it'll help you to discover whether you are working in alignment with yourself or moving in a different direction. And very typically, when we are feeling a bit off or a bit stuck, or this does not feel right, then it means it's not in alignment with our core values. Whatever it is that we're doing, that we're choosing to do, or what we're surrounding ourselves with isn't in alignment with what it is that is really important at the centre of our heart. So if I give you this to put it into context, when I was working at my previous corporate job, the one in which I burnt out from, that was not in alignment with my heart. And therefore, I started to shout at me loud and clear, and the universe was giving me all of these signs. And because I wasn't paying attention or I wasn't taking action on those signs, it started kicking me in the ass. Car crash, experienced major burnout, to carry it all over my body. And then I finally got the picture. It was work-related stress that was bringing everything to the forefront of my mind. And the stress was coming because it wasn't in alignment with me. It wasn't what I wanted to be doing. It wasn't how I wanted to be making a difference. And so I had to take action. So we've spoken a lot about energy, and everything is energy. Where our attention goes, our focus flows. We know that. And we are all energetic beings made up of tons and millions of particles. We've spoken about grounding already, and we know the importance of oxidative stress and reducing that in our lives. If you go back to the health guide. But the other element of energy is thinking about something that you know that's close to my heart, energetic healing. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of Reiki, this can help us to release trapped emotions. And I will do a separate video all about that for our health chat when we come into the action month, because we've done lots on our health this month with our nutrition and water intakes and our sleep as well. But we'll talk more about the chakras and how they can impact us in terms of our emotions also. So I want to give you some tips on how you can become more mindfully connected with yourself, because mindfulness is something that helps us to acknowledge how we're feeling, but without judgment. It's all about being in the present moment. It helps us to reduce stress and redirect our attention away from negative thoughts and emotions, so we can support our mental health. Also our physical health, because we can become more mindful about what it is that we're doing. We could become aware of the habits that we might have picked up along the way that we just do without thinking about it, because we've become aware of the actions that we're taking. So mindfulness helps us to control our emotions more easily. It helps us to think about how we react to a situation rather than going off on one. So you might have seen I shared a quick video in the OMGFAB OMG group the other day about a lady who was shouting at me through my car window. If you haven't seen that, go and find it. The old version of me probably would have reacted in a different way. Mindfulness helps us to build resilience so that we're more able to deal with stressful situations, with the day-to-day shit that life can throw at us. We become more, I'd see me put my shoulders back then, more thick-skinned in a way. And I'm not saying that we lose our sensitivity, but we just recognise we can quantify maybe what's important or not, and how we can go from being a victim to switch into solution seeking mode, which is so much more empowering. It helps us to improve our relationships as we pay more attention and we're less distracted. We can put that thing in our hand down, and we don't have to be having a conversation with that in our hand, because when we're doing that, it tells the person that we're speaking to that they're not the most important person in the room, when they are. Really, that's the reason why we're communicating with them. So getting aware of what we're doing, how we're attached to this thing, putting it away, and we get more focus and concentration all around being able to channel and even control our thoughts and reduce the distractions in our mind. Mindfulness also really helps us to increase our open-mindedness, and our awareness is improved. So often when people do practice mindfulness, maybe they do more meditation as well, then we activate our third eye and we become a lot more aware, and we see things and we have more clarity. And I say we as in us as a collective. And it's really a gorgeous thing, because our minds become more open. So maybe you want to go for a walk and be totally undistracted and take in all of the different sights and sounds and see how they make you feel. And again, it takes us back to the feelings. So how to practice mindfulness? It can be done anywhere, anytime, and it promotes relaxation. So this is how we do it. We pay attention. It starts with paying attention on what you can see, smell, hear, taste, all of those senses, or touch. Anything around us, so connecting with our senses. Concentrate on the here and now. So concentrate on the moment, not the past, because the past is in the past and that's where it will always be, and not the future, because often we can worry about the future when it hasn't yet happened. But instead, if we concentrate on this present moment, it brings us back into this here, this now, which is gorgeous. If we dwell on the past and we worry about things that have already gone on, then that can bring us into a really negative state of mind. We focus too much on things that cannot be changed. And if we can bring ourselves to a place of acceptance, so bring ourselves out of that past moment into the now, okay, that might not have been ideal, but that moment has brought me to today. And what can I do about that now? I can learn from it, as we've already spoken about. It can help me make informed decisions about what I do today, which will impact what's happening tomorrow. But all we have is this moment right now. Accept yourself is another way to practice mindfulness, speaking kindly to yourself. And we're going to be focused on affirmations in the next module. Focus on the breathing. That allows us to really get present. And I know that breathing will come with the belief module in a couple of months, but a gorgeous guided breathing technique can help you to just take, and all it needs to do is take a minute. Like with the tummy breaths that we did, that helps you with your sleep. If you put your hands on your tummy when you're taking a big breath in and out and just focusing on your tummy, it helps you get back to sleep. But another thing you can do with heart breaths is take 5-second breath in, hold for 2, 5-second breath out. So we can go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, in, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can hear someone coming down the stairs. Hold, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Just doing that for a couple of rounds. Hey, good morning. How are you? Good. Then that can really help us to focus on the here and now. Easter. Did you see a rabbit thing outside your door? I think there was a basket. I saw the Easter bunny leave a basket outside your door in your bedroom. Did you see it?
I should have looked underneath headband and there was them.
There's a note in there. Go on and get them. Go on. Wake Mimi up as well.
I think there's gonna be a chocolate egg in there.
Maybe. Don't eat it if you find it. Come and show me first. Another thing to do is a body scan, where you can you can either lie down or you can stay seated, and you can just go through your body with your breath, thinking about how you feel in this moment. And it can literally take you a minute. So feeling where you're holding tension in your body. You can start at the top of your head, take a few breaths in. Remember, when you're doing those breaths, make sure they're nice deep ones. So you're getting past your chest into your tummy. And think about how you feel. How's your head feel? How's your forehead? Does it need to relax? As you go down past your chin and your jaw, relax it. Drop down your shoulders. How your arms feeling? Go right the way down your body. Oh, he has got a little note here. There are so many things you can do to connect to your body. You can try walking meditations where you just walk in a slow line. You don't need to go far, but set a little target area. Gorgeous, Fred. It says, to Freddie, I've hidden eggs in the house for you and Mimi. Have fun. Love the Easter bunny. Oh my gosh, you're going to have to wake Amelia up, aren't we? Should we wake her up? What is this?
We need to find all of them.
I think we do. When you become mindful of how you feel at any given time, then you can understand your own magnetism and your own actions. Because if you think about how we attract and project ourselves externally, When we are more energetically aligned, we vibrate at a higher frequency, and then we attract.
I don't buy Mimi's door.
I saw that there was a basket by Mimi's door. Yeah, with some ears. Go wake her up and show her. That one's yours.
And that one.
That one's yours. There's one by Mimi's door.
Did she have that in there?
She's got a little bag in hers, yeah. Sorry about that.
I can't.
And we can start to release any judgment. We can start to think about how we are feeling, but shift our thoughts and feelings more purposefully around and try to adopt more of a growth mindset. So we'll speak more about that and about choosing our emotions. And think more positively and proactively about how we can use our energy to support us, so that we are attracting good feeling vibrations to ourselves as well by what we're putting out. I've got a little quote here by Albert Einstein: everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that other reality. There can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics, and it takes us back to the gratitude practice that we did with Rhonda Byrne, with the magic. We all saw such gorgeous vibrational frequency happening when we were practicing gratitude, because that was impacting our feelings, wasn't it? I'm going to leave that with you now. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you found this useful. Let me know. Have a gorgeous Easter, or whenever it is that you're watching this, have a fabulous day. Bye, Fred.